So what I want to do today is share with you a couple of different types of stories that you could potentially use, because people hear, telling stories and they think, well, I don't really have any stories to tell. But you do. You just need to be prompted. So let's try and prompt you and give you some stories to leave with today. The first type of story is one you've definitely heard of before. It's sharing a personal story. A personal story. So the idea here is that you tell a story about how you personally faced a struggle, a conflict, a challenge of some kind in your life. A story about how you overcame that conflict, overcame that challenge. And if you want to be strategic, if you really want to connect with your audience while telling a personal story, you should make sure that the conflict that you are describing aligns with the conflict your audience is currently going through, or the conflict that your target market is going through. Because if you can do that, like Tess says, if the audience can begin to see themselves in your personal story, they're going to think, wow, this person is like me. They felt my pain. They understand me. And there's also something very inspiring about hearing a story about someone who has overcome a struggle and got to a better place, especially if you also, as an audience member, want to get to that better place too. So that's the archetype of a personal story. Now, the other type of story that you can share, because I understand not everybody, and sometimes not every profession, lends itself to that type of storytelling, is a professional story. A professional story. What do you think a professional story would entail? Any ideas? Isabel, go ahead.
How you got to where you are in your business.
No, actually, no. It's not about you this time. Kathy?
A case study or some type of testimonial that you'll have got from someone?
Yeah, essentially, it's about how you helped someone in your business, how you helped a client, for example. Or you can tell a story from your industry, but telling a story about a client that you helped, how you helped a client get from here to here, is very impactful. And what you should be looking to do is you should be looking to select a client story which aligns with the audience you are speaking to. So if you're speaking to small business owners, choose a client story about how you helped a small business owner. If you're speaking to corporates, choose a client story about how you helped a corporate. If you're speaking to, I don't know, accountants, tell a story about how you'd helped a particular accountant. Because again, the goal here is to help the audience see themselves in your story. Because if I see that you've helped someone who's like me, I'm going to think, wow, this person could potentially help me as well. So that is the archetype of the professional story. So you've got personal stories and you've got your professional stories. What you've got to decide is which one works for you. Do you have a personal story that you could share? Have you felt your client's pain personally? Could you talk about that more? Or do you need to talk about a client story or a story within your industry, which people in the room will connect more to? The choice is yours. And what I want to do